Happy Friday, everybody. Here's tonight's evening meal. It's been a beautiful day outside. I know everybody has been out and about in our neighborhood, and I hope you've been seeing lots of passerbys in your neighborhood as well. Tonight, we're gonna make chicken Alfredo pasta bake. That's right, I said pasta. On a low-carb keto diet, absolutely. You just have to find the right kind of noodle. Thankfully, Strong Pour and Wellness District have low-carb noodles. At the clinic, we do have the Impastables low-carb noodles. This happens to be the penne shape. We also have rotini and fettuccine. What makes this low-carb is the fact that it's very high in fiber. And so for a serving of this particular pasta, it's 2 ounces is a serving size cooked. It is a net carb of 8 grams of net carbs. 8 grams. The average serving of regular pasta, whether they're egg noodles, whole wheat noodles, any of your vegetable type of noodles that they're trying to fake you out thinking that they're better for you, they are still around anywhere between 45 to 50 grams of carbohydrate. They have minimal fiber and absolutely no protein in them. Well, these guys have 8 grams of net carbs and 4 grams of protein for a 2-ounce serving. And because they're so much higher in fiber, you feel fuller sooner. So then you don't have to have this huge, ginormous plate of noodles to feel so much fuller. So Impastables noodles can get them at Strong Pour. So tonight I've already kind of done some of the cooking ahead, and so I have about a pound and a half of chicken breast already cooked, cubed up. I just seasoned it with salt and pepper. Actually, it was nice out, so the reason why it looks like it has grill marks on it is because we grilled it, so why not, right? So about a pound and a half of chicken breast and salt and pepper, grilling it in all yummy goodness. So we're gonna dump that into our pan. The glass pan is already been greased. I took a paper towel and just a blob of some olive oil and greased the pan that way with it, just so that everything doesn't stick. And we're gonna just spread this out here. And then I've already cooked up the Impastables noodles. I have a mixture of some elbow and some penne in here, as the recipe does call for about 12 ounces of pasta. Oops, we had a little blow over there. Of the noodles, and so we're just gonna spread this out as well. Kind of stir it all together, and then we're gonna mix the Alfredo sauces. Now, I will post for you guys the actual recipe that this was an inspiration for. I have tweaked it myself a little bit because I didn't want to have to take the time to make the actual Alfredo sauce. And guess what? If you want to make this quick and easy, you don't have to make the actual Alfredo sauce either. But you can just simply go to the store and get yourself a jar of Alfredo sauce. For a serving of this Alfredo sauce, it is 3 grams of carbs, so it's not a whole lot of carb. Now you might be saying, but Nicole, I thought Alfredo sauce was high in fat. Yes, it is, but high in fat does not mean that it is bad for us. There's a lot of good healthy fats out there in the world that we've been avoiding for years, thinking that they were bad for us, but that is not the truth, and that's for a whole nother episode at some point in time. We can talk about why fats aren't evil for us, all right? So what I'm gonna do is dump our Alfredo onto the pan, and this was a partial jar that I had already had in my refrigerator. And I have a full another jar here, and I would recommend, because I have made this in the past, I would recommend that you do use, if you're going to use the jar Alfredo, at least 1.5 jars of the Alfredo, because the noodles are so fibrous, they do kind of suck up the sauce a lot. And so if you like your things super creamy and saucy, then I would highly suggest that you use to a jar and a half. Isn't my cameraman doing such a great job and assisting me as well? My handsome husband on the other side tonight. There we go. Thank you. So we're just going to stir this in, mixing it all in. To season it, yes, the sauces are gonna have some seasoning, but we wanna also make our food taste yummy on top of what the ingredients are holding. And as you can see, it's still a little tight, or in other words, it's still kind of thick. So I am gonna thin it out with just a little bit of chicken broth and some heavy whipping cream. Again, another healthy fat, just to make this even richer, thicker, and creamier. To season it, I'm using Better Than Bouillon roasted garlic. I guess it's a seasoning sauce, if you will. It's a base. You see it advertised a lot at Thanksgiving time because they use it a lot during Thanksgiving dinner making. And so I love the roasted garlic because it really does make things taste really super down home. It's super delicious. So now we're going to salt and pepper. And add a little bit of Italian seasoning to give it that good Italian flair. And like I said, stir it all together. Now, if you feel like it's still kind of thick, that it isn't thinning out a little bit so that things are laying loosely in the pan, you can always add a little bit more chicken broth or a little bit more heavy cream, whatever you would like to do, just to make sure that it's going to be thin enough out and so that there's enough liquid in the pan so that it doesn't get too thick and dry while you're baking it. We're gonna bake this dish at 350 for 30 minutes. And that is the recommended cooking time. This dish makes approximately 8 servings. There we go. Kind of get it all laid out in the pan here. And then we're gonna top it with some Italian 5 cheese. We're kind of a cheesy family, so we're gonna put quite a bit of cheese on the top. You feel free to add as much as you would like. Again, I will be posting the recipe with our post tonight. It is going to be a little different than how I prepared it tonight. So if you're somebody who would rather cook based off the recipe, by all means, and the nutrition facts information is going to be available on there. My recipe, or the way I made this tonight, is going to be a little different just for the fact that I kind of just dumped it all together and changed course because I used jarred Alfredo. So our oven is all preheated and ready to go, so we're going to carry it over there. And pop it in 30 minutes we should have a really tasty treat tonight. I hope you enjoyed tonight's cooking session, and enjoy the nice weather, and we'll see you tomorrow. Night!